Oh, honey, let me spill this piping hot tea because what went down at Emma Grede's vegan dinner in LA was not just awkward, it was the kind of humiliation people in Hollywood whisper about for weeks. So picture this, Meghan Markle, dressed to impress, shows up to Emma's exclusive dinner. But here's the catch, she wasn't even on the guest list. Yep, uninvited, unneeded, unnoticed. It's like walking into a spotlight that's already moved on. And then, enter Megyn Kelly, who just couldn't resist. With a smile sharp enough to cut glass, she practically summed it all up in 2 words, stay home. Ouch. And trust me, that was her being nice. As the night went on, photos started popping up. Megyn clutching her wine glass like the loneliest influencer at Coachella while everyone else turned their backs. Megyn. She was laughing, reportedly joking that Megyn finally got a taste of what it feels like to be the least interesting person in Hollywood. Savage. And just like that, what was supposed to be Megyn's soft power comeback turned into a public relations train wreck. You have to understand, this dinner was supposed to be her night. Megyn's team made sure her archetype's wine bottles were front and center. Her charm was rehearsed. Every empowering one-liner polished to perfection. But then, reality slapped. The vibe was off from the moment she walked in. Guests formed their own little circles, chatting, laughing, pretending not to see the carefully crafted smile plastered on Megyn's face. The cameras that once loved her barely twitched. And then came the fatal blow. Emma Grede. Yes, the hostess herself interrupted Megyn mid-sentence. Clean, no hesitation, no awkward apology, just social checkmate. Witnesses say Megyn's face froze. That famous slow blink, the tight jaw, the strained smile like she was swallowing a scream. In that single blink, years of her trying to claw her way back into elite rooms just evaporated. Oh, but the night was just the opening act. Days after the dinner, whispers started swirling. Emma Grede, Megyn's supposed sister in empowerment, had accepted a role as an ambassador for the King's Foundation. Yes, that king. The same royal family Megyn spent years tearing down, accusing them of racism, cruelty, and everything in between. And the gag? She found out about Emma's shiny new royal role the same way the rest of the world did. Press photos, Emma shaking hands with people tied to Buckingham Palace. No warning, no heads up, just bam. That was the moment it hit. Emma wasn't following Megyn's rebellion. She was aligning with actual power, not hashtags, not speeches. Power. For Megyn, it wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation 2.0. The friend she thought would help resurrect her image had quietly chosen the side she swore to burn down. Of course, Megyn tried to bounce back with her usual playbook. Speeches, panels, the empowerment shtick, cue the Fortune Women's Conference. A room full of polished, powerful women listening politely as Megyn delivered her oh-so-polished speech about lifting each other up. But here's the thing, is it sounded too polished. Because the reality behind the pretty words? A totally different story. Palace staffers she allegedly bullied. Assistants who quit in tears. Florists who swore never to work with her again. People from both her royal and US teams whispered the same things. Late-night screaming fits, impossible standards, zero empathy. So when she stood on that stage talking about sisterhood, people weren't inspired. They were rolling their eyes. As one attendee put it, she talks about sisterhood like it's a product, not a principle. And you know what? That's the brutal truth. Emma empowers women by giving them actual jobs and equity. Megyn, she gives speeches about it. There's a big difference between practicing power and performing it. Now let's touch on Megyn's most protected storyline, her devoted mother image. Every interview, every appearance, every carefully crafted lifestyle moment is sprinkled with motherhood. She's balancing it all, protecting her children, creating conscious spaces, blah, blah, blah. But the math doesn't add up. People close to her say she spends way more time at PR dinners and meetings than at home with Archie and Lilibet. The kids, as adorable as they are, seem more like props in her narrative than a daily reality. One insider said it bluntly, she markets motherhood better than she practices it. The same week she showed up at Emma's dinner, she'd already been at 2 other brand events. And when people started asking, where are the kids? Silence. Meanwhile, Emma, also a mom, was balancing empires, kids, and charity without preaching about it. That's when whispers started. Maybe Megyn wasn't chasing royal validation anymore. Maybe it was maternal validation she craved. But here's the cold truth. You can't rebrand motherhood. You live it, or you don't. And while Megyn was out mingling with LA's elite, Prince Harry was apparently at home, scrolling through photos of the dinner. Sources say for once, he wasn't mad, he was relieved. For years, Harry has been the supporting character in Megyn's main act, but that night, The spotlight finally burned her. Word around Montecito is that when Harry saw the clip of Emma cutting Meghan off, saw that tight smile and slow blink, he just sighed. It wasn't cruel, it was peace. Insiders whisper the marriage has been on fumes for years, more like brand partners than husband and wife. Someone even joked, it's like watching colleagues who share a mortgage. The man who gave up castles for California is realizing he didn't get a fairy tale, he got a pitch deck. And then comes Meghan's favorite storyline, the healing era. In interviews, she swears they didn't run from the UK. They were nesting, healing, finding peace. Cute, right? Except receipts say otherwise. While she talked about healing, she was signing multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify, producing a 6-part docuseries dragging the royals, helping script Harry's memoir full of family secrets. That's not healing, that's hustling. Even her former sympathizers are noticing. Every time the public moves on, Meghan rebrands the past to sell a new product. One month she's the victim, next she's the fearless entrepreneur, then the wellness mom. It's like watching someone rewrite a movie in real time, hoping no one remembers Act 1. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, something big is brewing. King Charles has reportedly started the process to strip Prince Andrew of his Duke of York title, a move that requires Parliament's blessing, and insiders are saying once that door opens, nothing stops them from adding Harry and Meghan to the list. Prince William, tired and laser-focused, is quietly pushing for it, not out of petty revenge, but strategy. To him, Andrew is the past embarrassment, Meghan and Harry, the present danger. If the monarchy goes through with it, it's over. Sussex title's gone. No more royal intros, no more selling nobility on podcasts, just Harry and Meghan, private citizens in Montecito. And the poetic part? Emma Grede, Meghan's dinner table rival, is now representing the royal institution in America. The crown chooses confidence, not chaos. Message received, and now we return to the dinner where it all began. Picture it. Soft lighting, designer candles. Meghan standing there, clutching her wine glass, smile just a little too wide. The conversations drift away from her. Cameras flicker toward other faces. Emma Grede leans in with Hollywood's inner circle. Laughter bubbles from that end of the table. For one brief second, Meghan isn't performing. She's watching, and what she sees is brutal. The woman across the table is everything she wanted to be. Powerful without titles, respected without a royal script, embraced by the monarchy she rejected. That was the mirror moment. When the performance finally outlived its audience, she keeps smiling, swirling her wine, pretending not to notice the distance growing around her. But the silence? It's loud. This isn't just a dinner snub, it's a statement. The world that once gasped at Meghan Markle now just shrugs. The empire she built on outrage is quietly crumbling. And as one Hollywood insider whispered, every queen eventually meets the woman who reminds her she was never royal to begin with. So when Megyn Kelly laughed and said, "Stay home if you're not invited," maybe it wasn't cruelty. Maybe it was prophecy. Because in the glittery kingdom of relevance, Meghan's seat at the table isn't just empty, it's already been taken. And Emma Grede, she's sipping the next glass of wine.